Bro, I got a story for you.
Yeah, what's up?
This company's HR started deleting qualified resumes just because they said expert on them.
Wait, what? That's insane.
Dude, it gets worse. Black Friday hits, their entire system crashes.
No way.
And the new hires they brought in, they literally didn't know how to restart a server.
You're messing with me.
I'm serious. Let me tell you the whole thing. Be me, 42, lead systems architect at mid-size SaaS company in Austin. We provide cloud storage infrastructure for enterprise clients. Been in tech for 18 years, worked my way up from junior developer, making $215,000 managing critical backend systems that can't go down. Company is called Cloud Vault, 200 employees, $45 million annual revenue. We have strict SLA agreements, 99.99% uptime guarantees, $1 million penalty clauses. My job is keeping servers running, databases optimized, infrastructure stable. Good at it. Never had major outage in 6 years as lead architect. Team of 8 senior engineers, all experienced, all know their systems. Everything running smoothly until company hires new VP of people and culture. About to watch her destroy our technical hiring because she thinks resume language is oppressive. Then watch our entire platform crash during Black Friday. Because the people she hired can't restart a server without having feelings about it. Let me show you what happens when HR decides technical competence is less important than vocabulary. January 2024, company is doing well, growing steadily. Board decides we need to professionalize HR, hire executive-level people leader. Enter Vanessa, 39 years old, comes from corporate HR background. Most recent role was VP of People of Fortune 500 retail company. Impressive resume, talks about culture transformation, employee engagement. Making $175,000 to oversee all hiring, culture, and people operations. First week, she's doing listening tour, meeting with all departments. Gets to engineering, sits in on our daily stand-up. We're discussing database optimization, server migrations, normal technical stuff. After meeting, she pulls me aside. I notice your team is very homogeneous. What do you mean? All men, very competitive energy, lots of aggressive technical jargon. We're engineers. We talk about engineering. That's the job. I think we can create more inclusive environment while maintaining technical excellence. Red flag, but I'm trying to be open-minded. Sure, what do you have in mind? I'll be launching Project Balance, diversifying our technical teams. Great, diverse perspectives are valuable. Just need to maintain technical standards. Of course, I understand the importance of competence. Feels slightly better. She seems reasonable. Maybe this will be fine. February 2024, Vanessa presents Project Balance at all hands meeting. She's got slides, statistics about tech industry demographics. Engineering is too competitive. We need to foster nurturing code environment. We're moving away from Rockstar and Ninja language. We want collaborators and gardeners, not warriors and experts. I raise my hand. Our clients don't care about our vocabulary. They care that we maintain 99.99% uptime on their infrastructure. If our servers go down, they sue us for millions. Competitive is appropriate here. Vanessa smiles that corporate HR smile that means she's not listening. That defensive reaction is exactly the culture we're addressing. We need to move past aggressive, male-coded thinking about technology. CEO is nodding along. He's bought into this completely. Other department heads are staying quiet. Nobody wants to be labeled problematic. I'm concerned, but figure I'll deal with this when it affects my team. March 2024, it affects my team immediately. I need to hire 2 senior DevOps engineers, critical roles. We're expanding infrastructure, need experienced people who know Linux, Docker, Kubernetes. Post the job, get 85 applications, narrow to 20 really strong candidates. These are guys with 10 to 15 years experience, worked at major tech companies. Ex-Google, Ex-Amazon, guys who contribute to open source, speak at conferences. Their resumes show deep technical expertise, exactly what we need. Send a stack to Vanessa for HR screening, standard process. She's supposed to check employment verification, schedule interviews. Week later, she calls me into her office. I've completed initial screening of your DevOps candidates. She handed me a stack of 2 resumes, only 2. Where are the other 18? I sent you 20 qualified people. I filtered them out. They demonstrated problematic language patterns. What kind of language patterns? She pulls up her laptop, shows me screening tool. We're using AI-powered resume analysis to identify male-coded language. It flags aggressive, hierarchical, and dominating terminology. Shows me list of flagged words from the deleted resumes. Expert, flagged as overconfident. Led team of, flagged as hierarchical. Managed, flagged as controlling. Dominated market share, flagged as aggressive. Crushed performance targets, flagged as violent. Mastered technologies, flagged as arrogant. I'm staring at this list in disbelief. These are standard resume terms. This is how people describe experience. They're gendered terms that create exclusionary environment. We prefer collaborative language, contributed to, participated in, supported. But I need people who actually led teams and mastered technologies. That's the job, managing complex systems independently. Vanessa is firm. These candidates wouldn't be culture fit. The 2 I've approved have appropriate collaborative tone. Look at the 2 resumes she kept. Both have pronouns listed, extensive volunteer experience. Technical skills section is thin, buzzwords without depth. But lots of soft skills, empathetic communicator, active listener. I'll interview them, but I need more candidates. These are your candidates. I've completed the screening. Interview the 2 approved candidates the next week. First candidate. Seems nice, talks about inclusive teams. Ask him to whiteboard basic load balancing solution. He stares at whiteboard. I haven't actually implemented load balancing, but I've read about it, and I'm excited to learn. This is senior role. We need someone who can do this today. I bring strong collaborative energy and growth mindset. Second candidate, similar situation. Ask her to explain how she'd troubleshoot database lock contention. She's uncertain. I would probably Google it and ask the team, what would you Google? What specific diagnostics would you run? I'm not sure, but I'm great at facilitating group problem solving. Both candidates are polite, well-meaning, completely unqualified. Tell Vanessa they don't meet technical bar. I need to see more candidates, preferably from the original 20. Those candidates were filtered for good reason. I'm not comfortable making senior hires without technical competence. Technical skills can be learned. Culture fit is essential. We're at impasse. I escalate to CEO. CEO sides with Vanessa. We're committed to culture transformation. Vanessa has full authority over hiring process. I need qualified engineers to maintain our infrastructure. I'm sure Vanessa's candidates can grow into the roles. Vanessa hires both candidates I rejected. They have potential and they'll learn from the team. Now I'm supposed to train 2 senior-level hires who can't do senior work. April 2024, new hires start. It's worse than I expected. First week, I'm showing them basic server management. One of them, guy named Josh, asked how to open terminal on Linux. You don't know Linux? Your resume said you had Linux experience. I'm interested in learning Linux. This is production infrastructure. We can't learn on the job here. I have strong emotional intelligence that will help me adapt. Second hire, woman named Maya, is struggling with basic commands. I watch her try to restart database service by dragging icon to trash. Maya, that's not how servers work. You need to use command line. The GUI approach feels more intuitive to me. We don't have GUI on production servers. It's all command line. That seems unnecessarily complex. Maybe we should modernize our approach. I'm spending 30 hours per week training people who should be helping me. Meanwhile, my actual senior engineers are getting frustrated. They're covering for new hires' mistakes, fixing broken configurations. One by one, they start leaving, taking jobs at other companies. Exit interviews all say the same thing. Can't work with unqualified team members. By June, I've lost 4 of my 8 senior engineers. Vanessa says this is good, making room for fresh perspectives. I'm now doing the work of 4 people plus training 2 incompetent hires. Try to hire replacements. Vanessa blocks all my candidates. Too much aggressive language in their resumes. We're running critical infrastructure with skeleton crew of qualified people. July 2024, Vanessa introduces new mandatory program. Feeling circles every Tuesday. All engineering must attend. 2 hours to discuss emotional challenges in technical work. My remaining senior engineers are furious. We have production issues to fix. We can't spend 2 hours discussing feelings. Vanessa makes it mandatory. Attendance tracked, affect performance reviews. 2 more senior engineers quit. They're done with this. Now it's just me and 1 other experienced engineer plus Vanessa's hires. I'm working 70-hour weeks, trying to keep infrastructure stable. September 2024, I try one more time to hire qualified people. Find perfect candidate, 15 years experience, contributed to major open source projects. His resume says he architected solutions and led technical initiatives. Vanessa rejects him immediately. Classic male-coded dominance language. I'm exhausted, frustrated, but CEO supports Vanessa fully. Start updating my own resume, considering leaving. But I also start preparing something else, a backup plan. Draft consulting contract put in my desk drawer. If this goes badly, I want leverage to fix it my way. November 2024, Black Friday approaching. This is our biggest traffic day. Cloud storage usage spikes 300%. Enterprise clients run promotions, need guaranteed uptime. Penalties for downtime, $50,000 per minute in SLA violations. Normal year, this is routine. Experienced team handles it easily. This year, I have me, 1 senior engineer, and Vanessa's culture hires. Week before Black Friday, I send detailed prep email. We need to pre-scale infrastructure, optimize databases, prepare failover systems. Everyone needs to be on call. This is all-hand situation. Josh responds, I'm not comfortable with the stress of on-call. Can we distribute the emotional labor more equitably? Maya adds, I have self-care boundaries around weekend work. I reply, the servers don't care about your boundaries. If they go down, company loses millions. We all lose jobs. Vanessa emails me privately. Your communication tone is creating hostile environment. Please be more mindful of team members' emotional needs. Thursday before Black Friday, I'm doing final prep alone. My 1 remaining senior engineer is helping. We're both exhausted. The culture hires leave at 5 p.m. sharp, maintaining work-life balance. Friday morning, Black Friday, 6 a.m. Traffic starts ramping up, everything nominal. By 8 a.m., we're at 150% normal load, systems holding. 9 a.m., traffic spike hits hard, 250% normal load. Database CPU climbing, 60%, 70%, 80%. This is when experienced team would start scaling instances. I'm monitoring everything, ready to act. Alert comes in. Database primary is at 95% CPU. Need to fail over to secondary and scale horizontally. I call Josh. Need you to initiate database failover procedure. Long pause. I'm not sure I remember how to do that. We practice this. It's documented. Follow the runbook. The runbook has a lot of jargon I don't understand. Just follow the steps exactly. This is critical. Another pause. I don't feel comfortable making this decision alone. We need consensus meeting to discuss approach. I'm on the phone losing my mind. There's no time for meeting. The database is melting right now. Just execute the procedure. I really think we should collaborate on this as a team. Database hits 98% CPU, queries timing out. Customer alerts flooding in, services degrading. I hang up on Josh, start executing failover myself. But now secondary database is showing issues too. Need someone to optimize slow queries while I manage failover. Call Maya. I need you to kill the long-running queries. Here's the command. Just paste it into the database console. She's panicked. The console is showing red warnings. What does red mean? Is something broken? Yes, everything is broken. That's why I need you to run this command. I'm not authorized to run commands that affect production. You're a senior DevOps engineer. This is literally your job. I don't feel safe making changes without proper oversight. System is now losing $50,000 per minute. Enterprise clients are calling, demanding status updates. CEO is getting calls from angry customers. I'm trying to manage 3 critical systems at once. My one senior engineer is handling network layer. He's overwhelmed too. Josh calls back. Should we schedule a war room to discuss the incident? There's no time for war room. Just follow the procedures. I think we need to bring in Vanessa to facilitate the conversation. That's when Vanessa bursts into the server room. What is that alarm noise? It's creating anxiety in the office. That's the sound of our infrastructure collapsing. Can you turn it down? People are having stress responses. The alarm is telling us we're losing $50,000 per minute. Well, fix it then. What are you all doing? I spin around in my chair, look at her directly. They can't fix it, Vanessa. They don't know how. You deleted the resumes of people who could fix this. That's not fair. I hired qualified candidates. You hired nice people who can't restart a database. CEO walks in, sees the red dashboards, the chaos. Sees Josh standing frozen, Maya crying at her desk. Sees me and senior engineer actually working. How bad is it? We're down to 60% capacity, losing customers, SLA violations mounting. Fix it now, whatever it takes. This is the moment I've been preparing for. Pull open desk drawer, take out printed consulting contract. I can fix it. I'll have us stable in 15 minutes. Then do it. Not as an employee, as a consultant. Hand in the contract, he's confused. What is this? Standard consulting agreement, $500 per hour. 6-month minimum retainer. That's $520,000. Plus, I want full hiring authority back to engineering. No more HR filtering of technical candidates. Vanessa gasps. This is extortion. No, this is market rate for emergency infrastructure consulting. You broke our hiring process. I'm fixing it my way. CEO is looking at contract, looking at dashboards. System is now at $1.2 million in losses and climbing. SLA penalties will hit $5 million if this continues. He grabs my pen, signs the contract. Gets back online. Turns to Vanessa. Pack your things, you're done here. What? You can't fire me for this. I can and I am. You destroyed our technical operations. I turn back to my terminal, start executing recovery. Failover secondary database. Kill bad queries. Scale horizontally. Redirect traffic. Optimize connection pools. Clear cache bottlenecks. 12 minutes later, systems are stable. 16 minutes later, we're back to full capacity. 20 minutes later, all services are green. CEO is watching over my shoulder, amazed. How did you do that so fast? Because I actually know how these systems work. Unlike the people Vanessa hired who need consensus meetings to restart services. By noon, Black Friday is back on track. We'll hit our revenue targets, avoid most SLA penalties. Total cost, $2.4 million in downtime, plus $1 million in SLA violations. My consulting contract, $520,000 over 6 months. Still cheaper than Vanessa's hiring disaster. She's escorted out by security around 1 p.m. Doesn't even get to clean out her desk properly. Josh and Maya are confused, asking what happened. Am I fired too? Josh asks nervously. No, but you're going back to junior engineer level and salary. You were hired as senior. You can't perform as senior. That's the reality. CEO makes announcement to company that afternoon. Effective immediately, Technical hiring returns to engineering leadership. All hiring decisions must prioritize demonstrable competence. Over next month, I hire 4 new senior engineers. Using my original candidate pool, the ones Vanessa deleted, all have aggressive male-coded language on their resumes. All can actually do the job they were hired for. December 2024, CEO offers me promotion. How would you like to be CTO? $285,000 plus equity. On one condition, I have final say on all technical hiring. Done, you earned it. Accept the role. Now I'm making $285,000 running all of engineering. First order of business, eliminate mandatory feeling circles. Second, establish clear technical competency requirements for all roles. Third, ban HR from filtering technical resumes without engineering approval. January 2025, Vanessa tries to sue for wrongful termination. Claims she was fired for promoting diversity. Company's lawyers destroy her case. You were fired for operational negligence. Your hiring decisions led to $3.4 million in documented losses. You hired unqualified personnel over objections of technical leadership. Case dismissed. She has to pay company's legal fees. Here's through industry contacts, she's unemployable as VP. Tech companies know what happened, won't touch her. Takes role at HR consulting firm, making $85,000. Half her previous salary, working on culture training programs. Josh eventually leaves, finds role at nonprofit. Better fit for his skill level, he's happier there. Maya moves to project management, not doing technical work. Also better fit, she's good at organizing meetings. Now it's February 2025, I'm CTO, running smooth operations. Team of 12 senior engineers, all technically competent. All hired based on what they can do, not how they phrase their resumes. We maintain 99.99% uptime. Customers are happy. Board is happy. CEO credits the turnaround to returning to fundamentals. See article about Vanessa in HR Magazine. She's quoted, "I was punished for trying to create inclusive culture. Tech industry isn't ready for transformational change. Comments section is brutal. Tech leaders, you can't filter for competence using vocabulary analysis. Diversity matters, but not more than ability to do the job." She destroyed operations, chasing ideological goals. Run into former colleague at tech conference. He asked about the Black Friday incident. Is it true you held the company hostage during outage? I held them accountable for breaking our hiring process. They broke technical hiring. I fixed it on my terms. Wasn't that risky? What if CEO said no? Then infrastructure stays broken and company goes bankrupt. I was the only one who could fix it. I had leverage. Think about that a lot, about leverage and competence. Vanessa had organizational power, hiring authority. But when systems failed, that power meant nothing. Because power without competence is just noise. And infrastructure doesn't care about your ideology. It cares about memory allocation and CPU cycles. It cares about query optimization and network latency. It doesn't care that you filtered resumes for collaborative language. When database locks up, you need someone who knows how to fix it, not someone who wants to facilitate discussion about fixing it. That's what Vanessa never understood. She thought culture transformation meant changing vocabulary. But culture in engineering means competence, reliability, expertise. Those aren't male-coded values. They're operational requirements. You can have a diverse team of any background, as long as they can actually do the technical work. That's the diversity that matters, diversity of thought and approach. Not diversity of pronouns on resumes while lacking ability. Now at 43, I'm CTO making $285,000. Running engineering with clear standards and accountability. Vanessa is 40, making $85,000 teaching culture workshops, telling companies how to build inclusive teams, while ignoring the fact she destroyed operations at her last role. That's the story of Project Balance. How HR tried to rebuild engineering based on resume vocabulary and ended up costing company $3.4 million plus their VP of culture. Because when you prioritize ideology over infrastructure, infrastructure eventually fails. And when it fails, you need people who actually know what they're doing, not people who were hired because they said participated in instead of led. That's what I learned at 42 during Black Friday crisis, when systems collapsed because we had culture fit instead of technical competence. And I learned I'd rather be consultant fixing problems on my terms than employee watching infrastructure burn because HR filter my candidates. So I made that choice, drew that line. And it worked because I had what they needed, the competence to fix what ideology broke. That's the lesson from Cloud Vault, November 2024, when filtering for male-coded language left us unable to fix female-coded database failures, or male-coded server crashes, or any coded infrastructure problems, because systems don't have gender. They just have states, working or broken. And fixing them requires knowledge, not vocabulary. That's what saved my career and destroyed Vanessa's. The difference between saying you can do something and actually doing it when everything is on fire and the alarms are screaming and $50,000 per minute is disappearing. That's when words don't matter. Only competence does.
Wait, so she got fired on the spot?
Yep. Security walked her out the same day. He became CTO, making $285,000.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't run a tech company on feelings.
Exactly. The lesson here is simple. Competence beats ideology every time.
Especially when the servers are literally on fire.
Right? You need people who can actually do the job, not people who are just nice.